The HD podcast.
We are back after some minor technical
Oh shit!
difficulties.
Yeah, tell them what happened. What did happen and why we didn't have an episode when we were meant to have an episode?
Basically,
Well, obviously, we've already spoken about what we're going to try and do. So, part
Yeah,
one
yeah,
is the audio is still going to come through, hopefully, like normal.
mm-hmm.
But then the second part, we're trying something different.
It'd be pretty funny if we did the whole thing for another 15 minutes.
I'd hate us so bad.
But I double checked it. We even ran the test recording as well.
Oh yeah. We
Yeah,
did. This time
yeah.
it kind of, and the audio was there too. So yes.
Nah, so we're basically doing video as well now, so we can upload to more platforms. And the first time we ran it back, it was like a full 15-minute episode.
Whole thing, my goodness, and that was a juicy one too, man.
You imagine like a really nice steak.
Oh, man. And then what happened? Technical difficulties.
Yeah. Well, what happened was
Tell them what happened, actually.
I'm telling you, let me cook. The studio that we have on the platform Riverside, it was set to audio only, which, bewildered me.
Oh yeah,
to say the least.
Yeah, of course.
I had no idea. So that's why I didn't record. So we did like the full 50 minutes, but like there was no video and audio output. So it was like we couldn't even do just Spotify.
But it genuinely, when we were watching the thing, because we're obviously, as we're recording, we can see the screen and stuff, and we're like, at least in my head, I feel like we probably say the same thing. It looked good from our side. We could see ourselves. The thing was moving.
100%.
Yeah, so I thought we were golden. But now we're back with, hopefully this one's going to work.
Yeah, inshallah.
Yes. So we'll still be running the audio apps on Spotify. Maybe branch out to Apple. I don't know. Eventually.
Apple?
What they call this? Podcast TV? Apple TV? Apple Podcast?
Maybe it's Apple Music, like the platform.
Yeah, but
subcategories or something.
Yeah. So audio wise, yeah. But and then maybe catch us on the YT and the TikTok soon. I don't know.
Nah, definitely.
See what happens.
I think they want us on the YT.
Who's they?
The people.
The audience.
The people. The people have spoken. So
oh great, that still comes through.
Yeah, we were pretty distraught because
devastated even.
Devin stated. To be exact.
Yes.
Because a lot, like pretty much all our content it's like raw, like super raw.
Unedited. Recently we've been editing
like 99% unedited.
Yeah.
So a lot of it's like we say like what we're gonna cover, and then a lot of it is just like on the spot, general conversation. Because like the main aim is for us to be,
authentic.
Well, yeah.
Authentico. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So we're back. So hopefully this works, and hopefully it's gonna upload nicely.
Yeah.
See what happens. Not sure. Probably with the asterisks. I'm not sure when the actual video is gonna be released and stuff. Because
we might try a different date. So keep the Spotify on like the Sunday 5 p.m.
Yeah.
And then run the video at like a later date.
Yeah. But we just got to make sure that when we crop it and stuff, it's when we make those like short form videos and everything like that.
We'll do reels too for the short attention span goldfish people out there.
Yeah. Not that it's bad to be a goldfish.
Hey, you can. It's 2024.
You can be what you want to be, man.
Yeah, you can be what you want to be.
Shit, man. So we get into the episode, right? So I went to about a week ago. Well, actually, okay. So I've got 3 weddings in the space of like 3 weeks. Sorry, 3 months.
Yep.
Not me personally. Like I'm going to weddings. Like I don't have my own 3 weddings.
I gather that.
Thank you. Just in case.
Right.
So I got 3 bucks parties. So I've had 2 already. And I was so for my own, I didn't actually. All right. So you know how people just get wild and say,
do you just want to spit it out, please?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Why are you edging me?
You know how some people say like bucks, it's your last night. Just go crazy.
Yeah.
Go insane. I didn't have that because I didn't want that. I don't need one last night kind of situation. So I didn't have like the go crazy.
I feel like yours is pretty tame.
Mine was just vibes with the boys, Just just a couple of drinks. I think we went to 2 or 3 different spots. My night was kind of hazy. I can't really remember.
No, you got cooked.
Yeah, I was fried. Yeah.
I was pretty close as well.
Yeah, I think that was my one, right? It was just patrolling the streets of the city, right? And then so these other bucks parties that I have been to, like you get like the chicks or the places where like these women of the night, or workers, they're working.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta get,
They're
you gotta
doing
get
their
paid
thing.
somehow. Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
get paid somehow. And credit to them, you know.
Mm.
And I'll go into more detail on it. But and I'm assuming that like, so I know the Bucks individual, so it's not like I'm just not like a third wheel in it or just coming for the heck of it. Like I know the person personally, and I think that their partner, like they would have had a conversation with the partner to say like, oh, you know, we're going here and it's gonna be like women doing XYZ. So we went to this one place, right? I'm gonna keep the name out of it. I'm gonna keep the place out of it, just in case.
Wait,
I can tell you to you.
Would I know the name?
Offline.
Would I know the name
of the venue?
Yeah.
Nah, no chance.
Okay.
Or maybe.
I don't think so.
No chance. Okay. So there's this one venue. It's just if you know venues, it's just in it's in the CBD. Anyway, I was literally trying to think where the hell was it. It was in a hotel or a hostel situation where like it definitely wasn't a hotel. Now that I think about it. Anyway, you go upstairs at the very very top. That's when it like opens up, and that's where they have their area, right? So this place has a bar. You get food. The food was fucking shit. So shit.
Nah, it would be. Like, that's not the main reason you go there, to be honest.
You pay cash.
Yeah.
Sorry, you pay your amount. You get the dollar signs. That includes your dinner, quote unquote dinner. It was meant to be some Angus beef burger.
They just gave you Macca's.
Worse. It was like they just went to the freezer. You know the frozen patties?
Yeah.
It's like they just fucking defrosted some frozen patties, microwaved them, slid them into the buns, and said, yo, this is your dinner, cuz. So that was insane. That was part one of insanity at this place. The vibes was good though. The MC individual who makes sure that like the ladies are well protected, and like make sure that the energy in the place is at an all-time high. He was cool. Like he was nice. He kept the vibes going, right? And then you had like the obvious like security guards to make sure everything was all G. And this place does bucks, birthdays, company like breakup parties and stuff like that. So it's all sorts.
Catered for like all events basically.
Yeah. So at that one night, it was a couple of bucks parties, a birthday, and something else. But I think majority were bucks parties. So then the whole theme of it is that you have dinner and then there's like waitresses around. And these waitresses end up like the whole night they're there. These waitresses, right? Beginning of the night, they're fully clothed. By the end of it, like they get less. The clothes come off. Yeah, the clothing come off. The clothes come off. Yeah. Very, I guess, very standard kind of bucks situation, right? Where it's like that, like I was saying earlier, right? Like the last dance. That kind of situation. So I just want to go into the I'm not sure if it's the energy or if it's like the theme around like
the gallivanting,
but also, like just how men just go fucking crazy when they just see like when there's alcohol mixed and when there's like a half-dressed woman, like they just do anything, right? Like like so by
but isn't that mainly because like, you know, it's what we like and we don't see it often. So it's like when you see it in a situation surrounded by the boys, you know, testosterone's high, the vibes are high.
The testosterone was up in the atmosphere. The testosterone was there. Alcohol was there. Testosterone was there. Like it was good. Like it was a good night. Like it was a good event and everything. But so the ladies of the night, right? So you could do a body shot. And
sorry,
stay with me.
No, I misheard you. I thought you said something else. But you said body shot. I thought you said back shot. So I was like, whoa.
Holy.
Yeah, anyway.
I don't know for back shots though, man. Shit. Yeah, so you could do like a body shot, right? And basically there's a woman, so the lady of the night, the worker, she would essentially stand over you and then do a little like twirly whirly dance situation, and their whole job, which is very like, I guess, in line with that whole industry, is like their job is just to make you spend money and to like entice you and like the dudes you're with and just really entice people to spend money.
Yeah.
So obviously they're saying the right things to the people, and I heard all of this. I saw all of this. Like you just scan the room and you just see like heinous activities from. It's like half the dudes in there. It's like you'd never think they've seen a woman half naked. Like the way that they were acting was crazy. I said, "Dang man, this is how you give it up."
Well, of course you weren't one of them.
Definitely not. I don't need it.
Yeah, I know. I
don't
know.
need
I
it.
know.
Plus, I'm a married man, you know.
You're
I
a
got
man of God.
morals.
You're a
I
man
got
of God.
morals. That's what someone actually said to me. He's like, "Oh, you're a man of God, huh?" I was like, "Brother."
Mashallah.
So yeah, so they like do a little dance thing, and then like essentially this body shot is like you drink it from between their chests.
Yeah.
Right? So they put the shot between the shot glass goes between their chests. They do a little dance thing, right? So the group I was with. I'm gonna leave names out of it, obviously, but there was one kid, fresh 18,
Fresh.
18, like 6 months.
Yeah.
Poor guy, man. This guy's. I see him scanning the room. I'm like, hey, brother, listen. They're gonna say a whole lot of stuff to you tonight. Do not spend $1, guys, because if you're gonna spend, take it easy. Like buy your drink and then do what you need to do. You're 18, have fun.
Yeah.
But understand that they're gonna say whatever they want to say to you because they just want your money. Right?
So you warned him there will be devilish activity.
Oh, heinous activities, like I was saying. So tell me why. He let a girl spit in his mouth.
Yo.
Tell me why.
He paid for that,
brethren. So he.
How much? No, how much?
So hang on. So and the other thing at this place is like, and I can respect this, right? The only way you can order anything is from the waitresses. So you actually have to interact with the waitresses, right?
Okay.
So that's good. I can respect that because then any tips or anything goes straight to them.
Yeah.
Like they bring you back and they say,
because they're providing the service or entertainment.
Correct.
Yeah.
So and then like when they come back with your change, essentially like it's split into smaller bills. So say for example, you give them 50 to pay for what you've ordered. They would come back with, I don't know, 2 10s and a 5. You're basically taking what you want to keep and like your whatever you leave with them is like their tip essentially. So I can respect that. That's what the venue did. So he orders the body shot, a standard body shot, very standard. I was like, okay, cool. Nice. And then they start talking. I'm like, what's going on? And then she just spits in his mouth. I said, what the fuck?
Wait.
It was crazy.
Consented, yeah?
Brother, I hope so. He was smiling afterwards.
Yo.
Bro, he was happy for it. He was happy with it.
How much did he pay,
Well, he gave her 50. I was like, did you just pay her 50 to let her spit in your mouth? And he was like, nah. She's coming back with my change. And granted, she actually came back. So she actually did come back with the...
But the change was like what? $2?
That was... Whatever it was. I can't remember. But she did the usual thing where... Or the usual thing. They did the thing where... It's basically... The change that they come back with is like in their waistline. So you have to like grab it off their waistline, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So he did that and then left the change and whatever. But some dudes was like gripping like there's no tomorrow, and it's just real like scandalous. It's scandalous, nasty.
Was this after demon hours?
Nah, bro, this is like 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Okay, no, not 7. This is like we got in at 7. This would have been like 8:30 onward.
So it wasn't even after midnight.
Nah, bro,
that's crazy.
People were wilding in there.
Yeah.
But overall, like it was a good place, entertainment wise. I ended up talking to, I was talking to one of them because going back to that whole like you have to go to the waitresses for it. So now I like locked eyes with one, and I just put my hand up to be like, I need a drink, right? And then she comes over and she's like, oh, the usual, like they touch her shoulder and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, hi, sweetheart. Like, do you want a body shot? I'm good. I just wanted a normal drink. Like, do you guys
give the man a drink, man?
Do you guys serve normal drinks? Yeah. I just want a normal drink. So that was cool and whatever. But again, like it's very well lit place, so you can see everything. Like it's not dark. And the one that was like, oh, do you want a body shot? And she was for what she was doing a lot. Like she was doing more than the rest of them, right? And a lot of them looked dead in the eyes, bro. I can't lie. When they were doing what they were doing, there was no joy.
What about the one that was actually like going the extra mile? Was she like alive or was she dead as well?
No, she was alive.
She was alive? Maybe she was new.
She was
to the industry.
I don't know, brother. I'll tell you a couple of things off pod, but I ended up asking her a question, and that went scary after that.
So scary hours?
More like sad, not scary. More sad. So I'll tell you afterwards. But that was the one. I think I texted it to you, you and George, but I can't remember. But that was when she was like, oh, when I asked you if you wanted a body shot because you were staring at me like you were staring into my soul. And I was like, hang on a second. Am I about to die? I just wanted a drink. So then she, at the end of it, I was like, yo, you were like, compared to everyone else, you look like you were doing too much. And then she kind of explained like, oh, we got to do what we have to do to like entice other people to like, oh, dang, she's really good. Let me like ask her to do it for me, like body shot wise. And I was like, oh yeah, that kind of like makes sense and whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, overall, it was a good place. Good vibes. The vibes was high, like I was saying. The MC was funny. Like he kept it light, kept it funny, and whatever.
Yeah.
Made a couple jokes. Overall, like the energy was good, but yeah, bro, nasty behavior.
Scandalous.
Yeah. So what would you do if you is that something that would probably you won't be thinking about that now, but if you were to have your Bucks night, is that something that you would want to have, or it doesn't really?
It does. Like, I think if it was me in that position, I wouldn't set out to like do that kind of activity.
So let's say
mine would be more aligned with yours.
All right,
like low key.
Because I was gonna say, let's say if you're like your boy, and let's just say it's not me, say someone else.
But like say like,
says, yo, we're gonna do this for you.
I'll still do it because like you made the effort to do it for me.
The effort.
And hey, look, if I have to enjoy it, I have to enjoy it.
Yeah, hey, they're trying to make their money, you know. You're just trying to,
because like
help them make a living.
I appreciate the effort if the boys did that for me. So like I would like to go and enjoy it with you guys. Yeah, if there's a reason for it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I wouldn't like, it's not like something I think about and lay it down the track. I'm like hoping to do that.
Yeah, like your boys line this up for me.
Yeah, it just feels kind of this is a personal opinion. It just feels like kind of gross.
Like if I was gonna say if I was single, but I reckon if as a single person,
100%, yeah.
Like if that's your energy and stuff, like the 18-year-old, bro. If I was 18 too, I might have given it up even worse. Because you're like, imagine, bro, you're 18, 19, even like before 20 or whatever, and you're just like, it was literally like $10, and they like $10 for the
spit.
I don't even know. Hopefully it was only 10, bro. I don't know.
Was there like a lot of build up, or just
bro? On God, yeah, because I was just watching. Because I think it was his second or his third like body shot, and I was like, yeah, he's enjoying himself. Bro was buckled, but I'm like, hey man, you good? And then he's like, yeah man, I'm gone. I can see it too, man. Because I was like, what have you been drinking, man? Because I bought him a drink, which was like Canadian Club, right? So I bought him Canadian Club. He had beer, and he was having shots, and then he had something else as well, right?
Oh, so he was mixing.
Fresh 18. I'm like, brother, hey man, just because someone puts a drink in front of you, you don't have to drink it, right? And then he's like, yeah man, but I just can't remember all the drinks I had. So like he was already buckled.
Did you know before?
Nah, I met him there. No.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Nice, like actually a nice kid. Shout him out though. He like literally lost his license that same day.
I mean, there you go.
He was speeding.
Yeah,
he was trying to get somewhere fast. You get me?
This is a compromise, you know.
Yeah, man. But yeah, that was it was a good place. I think it was good fun. I think if you go with your boys and stuff, it's all right. But there was some dudes there, bro. That didn't even look human, bro. One guy was at least 6'5", built like he could fucking pick up a truck. I promise
you.
The
bouncers?
Nah, bro. Just whoever was having his Bucks night.
Oh, so there were multiple.
Yeah, so there was about
Bucks.
4 or 5 tables, right?
Yeah.
And then like each table, maybe 2 groups were on each table.
Oh.
Yeah. So you just in and around it.
Damn.
And
like, it was private.
No. And then the other thing was like for the body shots.
Yeah.
Like one girl would literally do 5 or 6 body shots one after the other, man. So it's like you're getting paid, yeah, cool. But it's like she goes from one person to the next person to the next person to the next person. And then I don't know who discovered it, but then everyone started doing it. It was tequila shots, right?
Yeah.
Because it started off with just wet pussy shots. So it's like whatever. But then all of a sudden, like the salt came out. So then people started doing tequila shots. And I don't know, you don't really drink alcohol, right? But do you know the,
No, I'm not an alcoholic, but tequila.
You don't have to be an alcoholic and you can still drink alcohol.
Why are you getting defensive? Just let me finish.
Hey man, listen.
Tequila, it's not my preferred shot preference. I think I prefer like whiskey, maybe even vodka. But tequila is just too dry. Is that the word?
I think I don't know. I'm not an alcoholic.
Okay.
I rarely drink alcohol.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long has it been?
Shit.
About half an hour.
20 minutes. 20 minutes.
No, actually 20 minutes.
Nah, you lined me up for that one.
Yeah.
So tequila, yeah. So you do like the salt. So you lick the salt.
Yeah.
Sorry, you lick your hand, pour the salt.
Suck on the lemon after.
Yeah. But Shorty's was just saying, yeah, lick my body. So there was the one table that she did like 5 dudes or whatever. she didn't get off the table to clean herself afterwards. So I'm praying that she told him to lick different parts. It's like, oh, lick my forearm, lick this forearm, and then lick this like rib cage.
Or you reckon they all lick the same spot?
I hope not.
Like, yeah, it tastes good. It tastes good.
Man, that shit would have been nasty, bro.
Ugh.
Yeah, man. I don't know what you do after that. You know, like all power to you. You know, you're good in your own headspace to just want to do this as a job and then go home and just shower it off. Or
yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, man, like you're making an effort.
Still.
Yeah, you're making an effort to get the bread. Yeah, so it's at least there's effort in the first place to be able to do that and like work hard at what it is, no matter what it is. To be honest.
Yeah, man. That was So it's good.
Scandalous behaviors.
Shout out that place, man. Would I go again? I mean, it's for the boys. Yeah, I'll go again.
Go again.
Right. Yeah. But I wouldn't get the food though.
Nah.
No. I'd say hold that. I don't need
Save on the food.
Just give me a whole bowl of chips. Don't even throw me the bun.
Some ketchup.
Ketchup and chips, man.
Some salt.
Where you going?
So asking what you like on your chips.
Shit, that's crazy.
Nah, that's good, man. I haven't been doing much, to be honest. Just been living away. The only thing I've been watching is The Rings of Power, the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, the Rings one. Is that a prequel thing?
Yeah, so I finished that. It's pretty sick. They were saying that, well, I don't know if it's true, but they were saying that because there's not enough audience, like people watching.
Oh, for real?
They might not make
season 2.
Season 3, actually.
Oh, so they've got 2 seasons out.
Yeah. The season 2 just finished. It's pretty sick. It talked about like, oh, you don't know the characters, do you?
Didn't we already do this?
Yeah, but it didn't work. You remember? It didn't work.
Damn, I
Mordo?
had a memory.
You know Mordo? Like the big bad guy.
Yeah.
So it talks about his origin.
Oh, yeah. Mordo.
Do you want me to TLDR it?
Yeah, go on.
So basically, you know the orcs, yeah? And the urks.
Yeah, with the pointy ears.
Yeah.
The green dudes.
No, I'm pretty sure they're technically elves, but like
something's gone wrong.
Segregated or something.
The wrong branch.
Yeah. So they were colonized. Anyway. So anyway, Sauron, he's an elf. He's like, yeah, I'm the true king. And then he tries to prove his worth. And he's like standing at the end of the hall. All the orcs and uruks are in front of him. He's like, yeah, that's me. I'm him, basically.
What's his name? Sargon?
What? Sauron. Yeah, Sauron. And then his right-hand man, or like the chief commanding officer, whatever.
Yeah.
Like goes to like crown him. He ends up like killing him. But then Sauron, his blood seeps through the rocks to the very bottom. Becomes like a sludge. A rat comes by and like the sludge consumes the rat. And then he makes his way outside. A traveler passes by. She's like on the carriage with a horse.
Yeah.
And then he consumes her. And he takes on a new form, a human form. And then he makes his way and he meets like powerful people or whatever. And then eventually he gets to the ringmaker. And these rings, because they're tainted from his blood, they corrupt people.
Oh, holy Smeagol. Talk to him.
Yeah, Smeagol's one of them. So like the rings give you power, but it's corruption as well.
Yeah.
And he takes the form of like a high-end elf later on. And then eventually at the very end, he meets like the orcs, the uruks. And then they're like, so you're Sauron? He's like, yeah. I go by many names.
They link up.
Yeah, and then eventually they like, oh yeah, you're our leader. And they go back and like the guy that killed him initially, the chief officer, whatever, of army, he's like the father of the orcs, uruks.
Yeah.
And then he's like trying to help his like son, and then his son ends up stabbing him. And there's a scene, man, where like all of them are just like stabbing him, like his children. Yeah, his children are just stabbing him, like swatting at him, and he eventually dies. And then it ends with pretty dramatically.
But it ends like to line up season 3, but season 3
it definitely needs to be season 3 because
the way the story ended.
Now it's like Sauron and his army against Middle Earth, like the initial one anyway. So you hear about Gandalf. You know Gandalf the Wizard?
Who doesn't know Gandalf, man?
You don't know Gandalf? Talks about his origin as well. So
in the same series.
Yeah.
Same season too?
Pretty cool.
It's like intermingled, like
he comes in season 1, but then he finds out his name season 2. So
gotcha.
he met these like hobbits. They would call him Grand Elf. And I think it's like a spin on the words where he's like, instead of calling me Grand Elf, because they've never seen an elf and he's like tall as fuck.
Talk to him.
They're just like, he's just like, just call me Gandalf. Sounds better.
That's hard.
That is hard, yeah. That's hard. When it clicked for me, I was like, that makes sense.
Tough.
Yeah.
Just call me Gandalf. Because even just saying it like that, Gandalf.
Gandalf. That's where they got it from. And obviously, yeah, I told you to watch Depp versus Heard.
Yeah. So I ended up watching that.
Also, maybe slight trigger warning.
Heavy trigger warning already.
Heavy.
I'm ready to go crazy.
At least 2 tons.
Yeah. And if you don't know what the case was about, so there's going to be topics on like domestic violence.
SA.
Yeah. I think that's it, to be honest.
All types of abuse, I think.
Yeah, mad abuse and stuff like that. And I think, I'll stay. I'll keep waiting for the news on this one. But like, I know that this is your best friend, the guy Philly. So I'll probably
Philly.
That's
my cousin.
Yeah. About
so you
we'll
maybe
tie it back into
connected. Yeah.
Well, I think the main thing that I wanted to touch on was just basically about the accusations.
Yeah.
Because at the moment it's very accusational for this like Philly guy, right? I haven't read anything else after the initial like arrest. But the accusation part ties very well into the Depp and Heard thing. So
but also Depp and Heard's that was happening for like years on end. Yeah.
So
where are you up to now?
We just jump.
What season?
What?
I mean, episode.
I've got like 10 minutes left on the last episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I got the whole thing mapped out in my head.
Yeah, okay.
I'm so ready.
You ready to
dive into this? Yeah, man. So all right. So basically, what do I want to do? Explain the whole thing from the start.
We'll do like a brief summary. So like, they met, they got married.
Not like they met. All right, go into it. Like let's start it off.
How they met?
Point on. Yeah, let's go from this point onward. Yeah.
It was an audition for Amber Heard, and Johnny Depp was the main character. Then she was casting along with other people, and then he ended up calling her back. I was like, "Can I see Amber Heard?" Yeah. And she came in, and then he was like, "Yeah, she's the one."
Yeah, it was, and the way he described it. Well, I guess before we go into too much details, because I didn't do any personal reading or anything on this. Everything I've gathered is from social media, which we'll come back to in this whole case, and the Netflix documentary. Yeah. So the Netflix documentary done a pretty, in my opinion, very good job at keeping it entertaining, relevant, entertaining, and I think the way they did each episode and the way they did the episode itself kept you locked in. Because it was very much like the events weren't unfolding in the same day. Like episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, whatever happened in those episodes weren't back to back. No,
I think they explained that at the beginning as well.
Yeah, so at the beginning they kind of explained it, and then they mixed in like the social media side of it, all those like YouTubers, the people from TikTok and everything. So I think they did a really good job at the documentary. So that was actually really good. And then you get into the timeline of like so they met on the movie. He then called her to come and meet him personally, and as soon as he met her, I think more or less yes to the movie, but I think the other hand was like he was like, "Fuck, this is the one."
Infatuated.
Like, yeah. Talk to me, infatuated.
It's a big word. The word of the day, actually.
The word of the day is infatuated.
Yeah, and there was a scene in the movie that they did where they'd kiss, and Amber was like, "Yeah, you obviously need to kiss, but like sometimes they use tongue and whatever, which like isn't really." It's like a kind of thing.
It's like I think it's more or less like a consensual thing. If they both say like, "Let's go into it with the tongue," then like they probably would do it. But I think,
from what she said, it sounded like he just went straight in. And she couldn't really, like back off or whatever.
She couldn't stop it because I think she said like, in that scene, like he had like grabbed her face like sensually to like play up the smooch.
Yeah, that's how it was described.
Yeah, but I think that's between them two. To be honest, like whatever was agreed upon between them two. But if she said like, "Nah, let's just do a regular kiss," and the old boy,
so maybe that's where it started.
I mean, that's a violation in its own. I feel like that's you violating someone's personal space. And I mean, if it could potentially be like an unwritten rule in acting. I'm not an actor, so I don't know. I never went to acting school or none of this shit. So
I can tell.
yeah, man, I didn't do that.
But I also feel like because she's like new on the block, she's trying to make a name for herself. It's very hard for her to say no, even if it's something she's not comfortable with.
Yeah, definitely. So I think that's probably where it started in terms of like the. I mean, the common theme is that Johnny Depp's a way larger individual in terms of fame and everything.
Yeah, 100%.
So the whole theme, I feel like, of the trial was that everything just went his way from the get-go, purely because of who he is, what he's done.
So you reckon that maybe it would have been a different outcome if he was, I don't want to say like half the movie star he was at the time?
100%.
Yeah?
Oh, 100%. I don't think it would have gone the same way. Like, I think social media played a massive part in this, in the case. You could definitely see like all of the hashtags, and so the documentary goes into all the hashtags that were like justice for Johnny Depp was something like 20 billion posts.
Yeah.
And then hers was like 70 point something million. So it was like a lot less. So social media played into it. But I feel like outside the courthouse before, like every morning whenever they were going in, like everyone was kind of just like screaming for Johnny Depp, like just trying to get attention and stuff. Yeah.
And then when she came, they'd like boo.
Yeah, like boo her and everything like that. That does something to a person's like moral, you know, like even if she did it or even if he did it or whatever. I mean, I think we had agreed that like there was probably a lot of abuse sexually, a lot of abuse, like domestic violence, hitting of each other. Like that probably definitely happened between the two of them. But I think being Johnny Depp kind of gives you the upper hand.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like it was, this is just like based off the evidence, but I feel like it was equal amounts of, you know, like abuse, where there was like mental, physical, like sexual. But then like based off what she said, I feel like a lot of it was either materialized or she just went too far on a lot of occasions.
Yeah.
I
think and someone definitely said it, that it's the fact that they're both actors as well does not help putting them on the stand, because that, man, these are I've not really watched her movie, so I can't speak for her, but I know like even just being casted in like Aquaman, for example, like you've got to be a decent actor to get Aquaman. Like you got to be someone in the acting space, so you got to be a decent enough actor who can manipulate your own emotions to broadcast the feeling you want to broadcast, right?
Did you also notice as well, like during the court cases, a lot of the time she'd get a question asked of herself and she'd turn to face the jury?
I noticed that for her, she did it a lot. They put her sister on the stand. Her sister did it a lot.
Isn't that suspicious though?
You're trying to win the jury at the end of the day. You're not trying to win anyone else but the jury at the end of the day. So I mean, suspicious.
It's like you're trying too much in a way, you know?
Yeah, you could say that. I think the also social media absolutely fried her for her, like the way she was expressing herself it almost seemed fake. Like the way she was like crying, or her attempts at crying, because it didn't really look like actual tears were coming out. But again, it comes back to this woman definitely probably went through some trauma, if not a lot of trauma, in this relationship. She can only express herself how she can express herself. But what I did notice was, yes, she would always turn to the jury. Her crying seemed super fake. That was her, like, quote unquote superpower, was to do like the crying stuff, or like essentially the golden ticket for her, I feel like, whenever she was on the stand, was the crying and the like sob story and like feel guilty for me.
But I don't know, with her, like it's hard to tell when she's acting and when she's not. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing.
And again, we didn't see the whole case. It was just like chopped up. Obviously, they were probably on the stand for a lot more than what they showed us. But I mean, in a way, like it's hard to tell what was acting, what was not acting. The stories that they each told contradicted each other, so someone's lying. Like someone has to be lying on the stand, because she would say one thing and then he would say the complete opposite of that exact same story. So you don't know who's lying and someone was lying, definitely. And then going back to like their style on the stand.
Mm.
So hers was, I feel like hers was very much like play to the emotion. Very easy for you to like try and cry. So just try and cry. I feel like for Johnny Depp's, it was like the
because she was embracing the victim role, whether she was the victim or not.
Yeah,
but she was still
definitely
embracing it.
Yeah. Whereas for him, personally, I feel like the way he was on the stand, it was almost like how could I do this? Like I could never do this stuff.
Disbelief, yeah.
That was he to me when I was watching him. It was his mannerisms, the way he would smirk, the way he'd like kind of laugh, the way he would like he'd be asked a question and then he'd be like, yes, I guess so. Yes, that's what we were doing. Yes, like he was almost like dragging out his response to that. I feel like that was his thing was like climax, like try and climax your response, like try and drag out your response to like really get the audience listening to you. I feel like that's what his thing was, like dragging it out, like super drag out and then drop it.
I did notice that's like his, I guess his way of communicating. I don't know if it was just like.
It was just for the I promise you.
Yeah.
I've seen interviews of him and he's not like, he doesn't drag out his sentences like this, I guess.
Different situation though at the same time.
I guess so, but I feel like the way he was on the stand was, me personally, when I was watching it, I was like, he's playing that like, yeah, I could never treat a woman like this, man. Like, no way. That's what I felt like his job was on the stand, was to try and convince the audience that, like, I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, he's meant to try and like convince the jurors that he didn't do all of this stuff that she's put on him.
Yeah.
And I guess it goes back to the whole case. What they were there to do was he was basically suing Amber Heard for defamation on that article that she had posted up. Mind you, no name was mentioned in that article, but
she initially posted, I think it was TMZ, like the, I've been a victim of domestic violence or whatever, but she didn't mention her name. And then I think she came out afterwards. She was like, she mentioned, it was Johnny Depp.
Yeah. I think she didn't, like, the initial one was that she didn't mention her name. Timelines matching up, it was obvious that it was like Johnny Depp that she was trying to shoot at. So the whole thing was meant to be a defamation case. And then all this domestic violence comes out of it. This is all not related to like defamation at all. And I feel like it definitely like spiraled into essentially like a movie. Like it just ended up being a movie. I wouldn't be surprised if like in a couple of years there's going to be like an actual spin-off or a movie of this or something like that.
Probably like inspired by, based on true events.
Yeah. And I feel like the witnesses they brought. So obviously at the very end of it, we know that JD got up. So my boy got fucking cashed out.
But there was like, I think like 6 counts.
I think he won 6 and he lost 2. So she won 2, I think.
No, she won 1.
She won 1?
She won 1.
All I know is that...
And he won like...
She had to...
6 or something.
I just remember how they read it out. It was like she had to pay him 10 million for defamation. Then she had to pay an additional 5 million for something else. I forgot what it was now. And then he had to pay her 2 million.
Yeah, that's the count that he lost. He paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rev, I don't even have to pay you. You just give me 13 million instead of 15 because then we call it even.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But yeah, she definitely got cooked on that stand. I can't lie. Johnny Depp kind of, it looked like he held his own. Maybe these are top shelf lawyers, I'm assuming, at the end of the day, man. So I don't know if
I don't know about Amber Heard's lawyers.
Team, I don't think they were really. I don't think they knew who or how composed Johnny Depp could be on the stand, because I feel like my boy was. It was like he was just in a movie for his own, right? Like he looked like he was just like,
especially because when they gave the verdict, he was in.
He was in your end, mate. He was in London, right? He was just like he was in London. He was in London.
Ireland?
It was somewhere in the UK, right?
Yeah, and then
he was just fucking playing in a guitar or something,
Yeah,
playing in a band, touring or something.
That's so cool. And then they gave the news, and he was like, I don't think he was even.
No, he wasn't there at all.
But like a video conference. I don't think there was a video or anything. I think it was just like the lawyers got told.
Just buzzed him.
They're like, "Yo, you good?"
Oh, to say why he wasn't there.
The
Got you. Yeah, man. So I feel like his lawyers. If I told Liz, man, if I'm ever in trouble, you got to get his team on it. If I'm whatever they're asking, price is, I'm dropping it. Get Devin to pay them whatever they need to help me get out.
Shit, they gonna have to pay?
Yeah, 100% they go after him, man.
That's us.
Yeah, so
That's us.
I think, man, his team on fire, man. And I feel like the witnesses they brought in as well, like, yeah, she had Amber Heard's team brought in her sister to say, and her sister was the only one that actually had proof of, quote unquote, proof of actually seeing the DV happen. Because everyone else that they came to the stand was like, yeah, I heard screaming, I heard crying, and then I walked in and they weren't next to each other, or they were separated, blah, blah, blah.
Well, so her sister said like he was repeatedly hitting her, and then I think he said she was repeatedly hitting me. Is that what happened?
That's what happened, yeah. So according to this part of the storyline was like the sister got in between the two of them, and then Johnny Depp, whether it was he hit the sister in the back or pushed the sister in the back, and then Amber Heard was like, don't hit my sister, and then she started banging on dude like across like in front of so like I mean, yeah, I think they both hit each other. They both were verbal to each other. They both did crazy shit to each other. It's chaotic, it's sad.
I definitely think, like, I guess we'll never like truly know, but I definitely think it was on equal footing. But from what she has said, it just sounds like she went over the line more often than not.
So you don't think he went over the line? Because I think bro would have just it was obvious that he had. Hopefully, he no longer has problems with alcohol, but it was obvious that he was like a proper alcoholic for a long time, and that tied into the relationship. And I think he was abusing the drugs for a bit, the opioids that he was talking about. He was saying that he was popping 2 at a time, and again, like his whole team was like so good at making him out the gate just look super innocent. Because like they got him to talk about his like upbringing and how his mum said, "Bring over the nerve pills." And then at 4 or 5 years old, this was him again on the stand saying, like, at 4 or 5 years old, I still remember my mum telling me to grab the nerve pills, grab the nerve pills, grab the nerve pills. And then when I turned 11, I wanted to, I wanted to calm my nerves. So I went and took the nerve pills. And then, so the whole painting of his upbringing and
I remember because I think there was a couple of moments where Amber Heard's, what's it called? Like a party. They would try and like use something against him, but then they would turn around and be like, "I'm just going to use this on myself, so you can't actually use anything against me."
Yeah. So he was very open in that sense.
So the drug thing, as well as the what's her name? The model,
Kate Moss.
Yeah. So they were like, "Now we're going to fuck him up with Kate Moss," but really,
it was man, and even the video. I know you probably remember it, but as soon as the name was mentioned,
you turn around and smile.
Yeah, he smiled. He turned to his lawyer and kind of smiled, and the lawyer even fist bumped, like, "We fucking got it!" Like, And then they even bring out Kate Moss. I never knew that they dated, but they dated. There was some. It was a chaotic love again, like with Johnny Depp and Kate Moss. Like it was the whole situation, but she under oath said, "Nah, he never touched me. He never did any of this." Blah blah blah, and that fried her whole team. Like the whole team got fried off that.
Bad.
And then again, going back to witnesses, like having his sister come up. Fuck, his sister looks exactly like they look exactly the same. Having the sister come up, having his fucking one of his homies come up, the guy that was apparently on the plane with them when they were flying to Boston or something.
Yeah, that sounded suspicious.
You could tell
I'm not 100% covered with that.
Oh no, you could tell that he just went on there and he was either told or he said, "Johnny, put me on. I'm going to do this for you," and just told to just say like, "I don't recall." Yeah. Every single question was, "I don't recall." Like, bruv, you recall something, man. You were on the fucking plane, man.
I'm not like diminishing what he did on the plane, but like in the grand scheme of things of what you can do to someone, like kicking someone in the back isn't like
hold on now
huge. I don't feel anyway.
Hold on now,
because it's bad, yeah,
but
it depends on the manner of it. Because it's like, do you kick them in a way that they fall flat on the ground? Or do you just like kick them forwards?
We might have to bleep that one.
No. I'm being serious.
I'm gonna let you land that one. What are you trying to get at? Because I don't think you can.
I'm just saying
putting your foot on anyone's back. That's crazy. To even just put your foot on the back to push them is crazy. That's it. To me,
what if it's not their foot?
If it's not your foot, like on the back is insane. I feel like anything on the back is crazy. If you're doing it on their side, yeah, because you could just like side push and be like, ha. on the back, anywhere you push their back, their whole body is like bending forward. So I feel like that's too much. That's crazy. You trying to start a fight.
Okay.
That's me personally. We can have personal differences right now, but I feel like you starting a fight if you're trying to push someone in the back. That's crazy.
I feel like they're definitely fixated on that, and I don't think that this is probably the only occasion or one of the few that I'd probably side with her.
Yeah, the plane one was looking dodgy. Yeah.
Like especially from what his friend was saying with the whole, I don't remember, man.
Yeah, I don't recall. Yeah,
it was a while ago.
That's Johnny being Johnny.
Yeah, like, literally, man. So it's like that's probably the one occasion. But they definitely were fixated on the whole plane thing. And then I think there was a moment with the plane or not where they were like, I have evidence. And then the judge was like, I'm not going to let that
I remember
pass.
that. Yeah. So the backstory on that one was whether it's Johnny's assistant or someone else. And Amber's team was trying to enter a text thread into evidence during the trial. And like, I'm not too good at lawyer stuff, man, but I'm pretty sure you're meant to have your evidence all sorted before the trial starts. So you're meant to submit it, gets approved.
Yeah, that's how they explained it. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then they had, I'm assuming, a text thread, but apparently the text thread was highlighting how Johnny Depp is a bully. So I think that's what the text thread was. But I think they couldn't enter it because it just didn't line up with the defamation case at the end of the day, because it was a defamation case. So I don't think they could.
So it could have been used in a different situation, but
potentially,
just not this.
Potentially, but it couldn't be. It couldn't be entered at that point in time. And maybe if they entered it before the trial started, possibly it could have been used. But yeah, there was a couple of things that were kind of sketch around him and as a person, and I just feel like his team did a lot better of a job. They obviously won at the end of the day.
I feel like they're definitely both guilty.
Yeah.
To a degree, but I just feel like his story aligned better or for worse, in terms of how he portrayed himself.
Yeah.
And like because at the end of the day, like what they explained was it's not about who's right or wrong. It's about who gives the better performance and is able to convince the jury and the judge.
Yeah.
Like,
I think the whole thing was just super Hollywood. I think the whole thing just took away from like actual victims, took away from actual survivors, people that are struggling right now. Like the whole 100%. Thing just took away from like actual real people. And not Hollywood fucking, bro. Can you imagine winning something and being like, "Fuck, I got to pay him $13 million, man. Damn, I didn't even have
that's pocket change, man. That's pocket change.
I'm crying over 200,000. If you say, "Yo, you got to pay Devin 200,000 for the punch you threw," fuck, man, 200,000. I'm cooked, bro. Give me 10 years. Let's set up a plan or something, a loan plan. I don't fucking know.
With interest?
Nah, man. You doing too much now.
6% interest.
I might actually hook you right now.
6% interest.
Dang, but yeah, man, the whole thing.
What I wanted to say as well is I thought the jury.
Hold on, what'd you say? We good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. How long we got?
No, it's at least 12 minutes.
All right.
I thought the jury would be confined and they wouldn't be able to access social media.
Yeah,
in terms of like what
that was the other thing they tried to highlight.
I thought that was the case, but then at the very end they were like, I think they basically clarified that they could go on social media if they wanted to. They were just told not to. Is that right?
I don't think it would. Yeah, like there's no way of. I'm gonna go home. You don't know what the fuck I'm doing on my phone. But I think the thing was that what they said was like the judge clearly stated that like you were not allowed to look at news outlets, social media, specifying like don't access Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. Like she specified everything they weren't allowed to do. It's on the juror themselves to be like, I'm an upstanding citizen and I'm going to do my job as a juror to not jump on social media.
I don't believe that one bit. Because that's fucking hard. Especially the length it went over as well. It
was like 20 something days.
Yeah.
There was a 10-day break as well in between. They went home to their families. Man, even if you've got a wife or a husband, a child, everyone was talking about this shit for like the longest time. So
like your friend hits you up or some shit.
Yeah, man. And I feel like, again, lawyers doing their lawyer job. They had like the NBC interviews after the fact. Amber Heard's lawyer was like, what she said? She said she didn't want cameras because she knew it was going to become like a farce and everything. But when the Johnny Depp's lawyers went for the interviews and they were asked point blank, like, oh, do you think the jurors would have been swayed because they were able to go home? And they were like, no way, no. Come on, man.
They
like,
have to say that, man.
You got to say that. And that's why I said to Liz, man, if I ever get caught up, get them on my case, man. The two of them, I need them expeditiously on my case.
Yeah, I think it's like the next big thing that happens with celebrities anyway. I think we'll follow the same format. Just like
if I'm a celebrity and I'm getting cooked, I'm saying take us to Virginia and we're getting that person to say.
Was it Virginia?
Yeah, so it was Virginia.
Oh yeah.
I think we had touched this on the one that didn't make it.
Yeah.
But they basically went to Virginia because the defamation.
The rules are better.
Yeah, it's a lot more.
But he picked it. I'm pretty sure he picked the venue.
Him and his team made the request, and I'm not sure what goes on in the background there for the request to be approved or whatever. But went to Virginia. Defamation you can not get away with, but you're able to get a lot more for defamation, I think. But yeah, I definitely think social media kind of cooked this one for Amber Heard. She got fried, flamed. Anyone that tried to help her got flamed.
I think especially the aftermath of what's happened to her now, like with how people are treating her, or even like the movies and shit. Because I watched Aquaman 2 the other day.
Oh yeah.
And apparently her role was like so diminished. She only said like a few words, a few grunts. Yeah, literally like that. Feel like type shit.
Yeah.
And it was just like kind of super diminishing, I feel.
Yeah. Has he done anything since?
I don't think he acts anymore.
No?
I don't know.
Oh, you think he's retired? He's hung up the boots.
Probably has, to be honest.
Shit,
he hasn't dropped a good movie since, like, honestly.
Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah,
one.
legit.
Nah, man, let him cook. Fuck it, man. Bring my boy Johnny back, man. But yeah, man, I think at the end of the day, it's just Hollywood being Hollywood, man.
Yeah, it's all an act.
For
Who's
real,
better
man.
at convincing.
Yeah, man. Free us, man. Shit, what I'd take for... Imagine someone just says, yeah, you got to pay him $13 million. I'm so up. I'm fucking smiling like a motherfucker. Like, imagine this guy's in England or wherever he was in the UK, man. Lawyers call him up. He's like, yo, Johnny, we fucking won. How much do I get? $13 million. I'm fucking up.
That's
boys.
like a week's wage for me. I'm good. I'm good.
Fuck, man. Shout him out still.
Nah, it was interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Topic,
if you got the time, man, watch that.
100%.
Watch it. I reckon it's a good watch. Engaging watch. I think it's quite unique in the way it was done.
Very smart.
Yeah, very, very smart on behalf of Netflix. I think Netflix wanted to do that documentary. I don't think it was from another one that went to Netflix. But yeah, man, it was good. Free the real victims, though, man.
It definitely took away from them.
Took away from real victims, but I guess that's the world we live in, man. You got enough money,
cooked.
If you're in Hollywood,
yeah,
your noise is so much louder than people that are actually struggling. So, shit, we went dark on that one.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I actually watched this on TikTok. I want to see if you understand it. So people in America smile.
Okay.
Does that mean that people in Europe skilometer?
So we just end this shit right now.
You just end it right now?
Huh?
Do you understand it? Though?
I get that though. Like, but it's not.
Oh, okay.
Mile, kilometer.
I laughed.
Oh, when was it?
I exhaled.
Was it late
night? It was earlier today.
Earlier today.
No, it was late last night.
Late last night. Curl up in the sheets.
No, it was like 2 a.m. at least.
Phone screen right here. Flash, like not the flash, but the brightness on the phone up or it's down.
No, it's down. I got
the amber light.
Mm.
Yeah. And you were like, and then
I giggled. I was like, I'm gonna save this.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Go back to your phone, delete that one. Unsave it. Yeah.
Anyway,
cool, man. Well, hopefully this worked out.
Yeah,
we're gonna find out.
Fingers crossed.
Like we were saying, we'll still drop the audios around Sunday, and then we'll try and figure out what to do with this video thing. But hopefully we get the video up and running and provide the goods with that. And then we got to do something else. I don't know. Do some shit here. When we get better with the video setups, we'll do some
cool like the edits and shit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe, and then we make it to a studio one day.
Yeah, we're just amateurs.
Yeah, man. We just try and make it out the game.
That's the street. Anyway, love.
Peace.